What the heck is up, you guys? Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. And as you can see today, we're going to be taking a look at a figure I know you guys have probably already seen a million times, but I'm just excited to have this guy and surprised that I was able to find it pretty early. I know this guy actually was supposed to come out in August/September, I believe, but hey, if I found it at my Walmart here in Texas, you guys could probably find it anywhere. And so I'm just happy to have this guy. I've heard from several people that this might be the best Spider-Man Marvel Legends has put out, and if this tops my PS4 Gamerverse Spider-Man, I'll be extremely excited. And so let's see what this guy's all about. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging, and then we'll move right on to the figure. Now for that sexy packaging, you got Marvel Comics right there. You've got the image of Spider-Man standing on his logo, as you guys can see. And if that doesn't take you back to your childhood, then you didn't grow up watching the same Spider-Man that I watched. You got the window packaging with the figure in there and all the accessories, as you guys can see. Definitely looks nice. You got an image of Spider-Man right there with New York in the background. You got Hasbro at the bottom. Of course, no sides because this is just a flat back. Then on the back, you do have all the figures that are in the line. You've got the logos up here, same images that are on the front. Then you got the little bio. It says, bitten by a radioactive spider, Peter Parker now possesses all the arachnid's attributes. He's the amazing Spider-Man. Therefore, you guys don't have to read that. Then, of course, at the bottom, you got all the legal stuff that no one really cares about. And lastly, for you people who might need it, here is the barcode. So go look for this guy. He might be at your Walmart. Now, being that there have been multiple reviews of this figure, I'm going to try to keep it straight to the point, go over everything that's necessary, and then I'll leave it at that. Of course, I will also talk about my likes and dislikes about the figure, and we'll just call it a day. Now, this figure, Hasbro did a really great job with in terms of the looks. I'm not going to say that it's a McFarlane or it's come straight from the cartoon. I have no idea because there have been so many artists to draw this look for Spider-Man. It's not up to me, who's not a comic book reader, to base this off of any particular art style. I'll just say that I like it and it looks like a classic Spider-Man outfit. And they killed it. Like, a lot of what I'm seeing is different than what I've seen before. I'm very satisfied with it in terms of the looks, especially, of course, the articulation, which I'll show a little bit later. And there are some things I do feel like they could have improved on. One of them, this is my main issue with this figure. I do not like the elbows, or around the elbow area rather. I'll put it like that. The pins that they stick in the arms, that bugs me so much. I don't know why they stick out like that. Like, if you stand this guy straight up, you can see the elbows for one look disjointed, and then on top of that, those red pins sticking out. Now, I know this is something that they do quite often, but I've never seen it look so bad. I don't know if this is just my Spider-Man or if anyone else has had this issue. I think I've only watched one review of this guy, but I just flat out don't like that. Now, anything else is fine. I could definitely work with it because I know what to expect from Hasbro. And also, in terms of the looks, once again, they did a really great job. The paint work is good. The sculpt is great. I don't really see too many misses. I just have one paint splotch right here and then one on the back of the spider logo right there. But other than that, they did a really great job. So I'm not going to complain about anything else. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back so we can see how tall he stands. Then we'll dive right into that articulation. Now, for the height of this Spider-Man, as you guys can see, he actually stands almost 6.5 inches tall. So 6-inch scale, of course, he's going to be a little bit taller than anything import. But as long as you buy something domestic, he's going to fit in scale with these guys just fine. For his articulation, there's some things that I'll say are new, probably just to me because I don't buy a lot of Hasbro figures, but we'll see. Anyway, in terms of his looks, he looks up that much. There's a weird gap in the neck. I don't know why they did that, but it could be due to the fact that he has this piece out of his neck missing right here. So it helps for looking up, but I feel like they should have just left that alone because it's going to look weird if he's looking up and you're not posing him like this. It's just a weird look to me. I don't really like that personally, but I mean, to each his own. As far as the arms go, they go up and out about that much. That's about as far as you're going to get from it. He does have a butterfly joint that is very effective. I really like that. He does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. I think he can bend in a little bit further. Let me see. Nah, that's about as much as you're going to get out of that. Or let's try this one. Yeah, that's about as much as you're going to get. It works for me. He does have a swivel at the hand, as you guys can see. You can bring that in as much as you want, being hindered just a little bit by the wrist, but it works. He does have a diaphragm joint. This is probably the best feature about this figure to me, because you can lean him in and turn him any way you want to. Granted, the line work is not going to add up, but it's still cool that you can do this. I do like that. He crunches forward without using the ab crunch. About that much. He leans back very, very far. Well, kinda. But there's this weird look under there. It actually cuts off. Now the light's not hitting it, so you guys probably can't see it. But if you're bending back too far in photos, you will notice it. He does have an ab crunch, so he can go really far forward. He can go really far back. That's how you're gonna get that backwards crunch out of him right there. He has a drop down leg method. I'm not used to seeing this on Hasbro. This is new to me, but it's cool that it's there. He does kick forward about that much, and if you drop the leg down, he kicks a whole lot higher, so that's really good. Doesn't really kick back without going out, but if you move his legs out, he can almost do the splits, which is fine. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. These work very well. He does have a swivel right here at the boot. I'm very happy about that. Foot goes down that much, always good at the feet. Goes up that much, and he does have ankle rockers. So articulation, most of this we've seen before. Like I said, some of it's new to me, but this could be something you guys have seen before if you do collect anything Hasbro. So in terms of accessories, you don't really get a whole lot with this, guy. As you can see, you get the generic head that comes straight out of the packaging with a pair of whipping hands. You do also get a pair of fist hands, as you guys can see, as interchangeables, and then you get one eye squinting head as well. I don't really care for this one, and the paint on mine definitely misses in a whole lot of spots, so I will probably never use this. And then that's really all that you get. I feel like they dropped the ball on this one completely, especially being that I've seen some of the accessories these guys can really give now that they've done this War Machine, Black Widow, and some of their other figures. I don't know why they pick and choose which figures to skip out on. Like, for me, Spider-Man always needs a pair of wall crawling hands. He needs at least one or two web accessories, and I really wish they would give us a pair of hands for him to hold the webs, because I don't understand why they give some Spider-Mans web accessories but they can't hold it. Now that's more of a personal gripe. I haven't heard anyone else say it, so I decided to say it. But yeah, it's just weird to me how they go about doing their accessories sometimes. I just don't get the pick and choosing. But anyway, moving on to some size comparisons. Now for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends PS4 Gamerverse Spider-Man, which is still my favorite Marvel Legends to this day. We have the Mafex Classic Outfit Spider-Man. Then of course we have the SH Figure Arts in-game Iron Spider. And as you can see, he towers over the imports, of course, and he's almost eye to eye with the other Marvel Legends. But I still personally like the Gamerverse version better. Sorry. Next up, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends huge, I don't know the artist, Venom. And then, of course, he's standing next to the classic, I think, first appearance Venom from Mafex. And lastly, here he is standing next to a Mezco Batman, a DC Icons Batman, and a Marvel Legends Animated Heroes, which is on the Superior Octopus body. So I'll be honest with you guys. Really, I'm not going to go over everything that every other reviewer has already covered. I'm just going to talk about this guy from my perspective. And first thing I'm going to say is he's definitely a good figure. Well worth the pickup. He's going to look good in your collection. And as you guys can see, he's going to pose very well. That's not an issue that you have to worry about at all. No matter what you do with this figure, for the most part, he's going to look good. Now, I'm going to just go over my issues that I have with this figure. They can be personal nitpicks if that's what you want to call them, but I feel like it's just some things that should be fixed. Now, the first thing, of course, I already discussed, which are the pins in the arms. I feel like if they were going to do this, cool, they could have just painted them blue so that they matched the tone of the outfit, because I don't know, that just looks so bad. But off of that, because like I said, I discussed it, I really wish they would have made these elbows look a little bit better. I have other Spider-Man figures, and the elbows on them do not look this wonky. And I'm just going to leave that at that. Now, my final issue I have with this guy is the torso articulation. And not that it's bad at all. It's just one major problem. They completely took out the waist cut, and I have no idea why they did that. because what that means is all of your articulation with him turning and posing is going to come straight from the diaphragm joint. Now, this wouldn't necessarily be a problem if his clothes would still line up properly. And so if I pose him like this, doing a punching pose, clearly the reds are not going to line up. And because you don't have that waist swivel right there, there's absolutely no way to make them line up like they do on other Spider-Man figures. And so that you guys get exactly what I'm saying, because I could be explaining it horribly, I have this Spider-Man figure. Everything doesn't line up properly when I turn, but for the most part, the reds are still connected, and all of this is connected. And so while this looks a little bit weird depending on how you pose it, it's not going to look as bad compared to this guy whose outfit is not going to line up at all. And I just realized he's completely out of frame. But other than that, I'd say, yeah, he's worth the pickup. I just feel like the waist part is something, it's one of those issues where it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's perfectly fine. They could have left that in, but then again, I guess this is a brand new body mold. I'm not entirely sure. You guys would know that better than I would, especially if you are a collector of domestic figures. I'm not. And so, other than that, I'd say he's a solid piece. I'm not going to harp on anything else. I hope you guys did enjoy this review. It's been super frustrating, guys. I promise you. This has probably been my most frustrating review this year. Not because I dislike the figure, but just because I had a lot of issues trying to review this guy. But I didn't want to make it sound like it was negative. And so I had to go back and just refilm a lot of things and just cut out a lot of stuff that I said, because I know I would get destroyed in the comments if I tarnish a Spider-Man figure. So this is not a bad figure, guys. Definitely go pick it up. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe. Peace.